Hey everybody, how are you doing? I'm hoping this works out okay because I'm working from two different screens. I had some technical difficulties getting on, and I'm actually working from two different screens. So I'm going to make sure that this is looking okay before I continue, because if not, I'm going to have to pre-record this instead of doing my live tonight. So I hope you're doing well. I am doing amazing. I'm just giving me a few minutes to set up. So good evening to everyone tonight. Happy Black History Month. Happy American Heart Health Month. It is so great to join you on tonight for Stephanie or Sip and Say with Stephanie. Oh, let me do my song. Welcome to Sip and Say with Stephanie. I hope that everybody is doing well. I'm so excited to be with you tonight. Again, I'm working from two different screens because I had technical difficulty. So you're going to see me looking back and forth so that I can see what's going on between both screens, because I have my notes on one screen and I have my video going in the other screen. So y'all be patient and work with me on tonight. All right. Woo-hoo! I'm so excited to share a few things with you tonight. I had a lot going on. Like, my school board meeting is going on right now, and I was watching that before I came on. I signed up for a webinar with Belk. They're doing a series of webinars for Black History Month. And so tonight's topic was about makeup. And so I was listening in, I was trying to hold on to that because I wanted to get one of the makeup prizes. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but like, I love lip glosses or eyeshadow and eyeliners, and what else do I like? Yeah, that's about it. And I love like a sparkly foundation. I don't wear a lot of foundation, but I do have some sparkly foundation. So it's part of their what are they calling it? I'm trying to look it up so that I can tell you. Oh, it was called our Many Shades event. So makeups in particular for Black skin, brown skin, toffee skin, and taupe skin. So it was a really good seminar. I hated to get off of it, but I knew I needed to do my Sip and Say with you on tonight. So let me grab my Sip and Say. So, woo, woo. So I have my, let me take a sip first. I am kind of thirsty. That's good. It's not as good as my Scarpinade, but it's okay. This is my Muscadine, Dublin Muscadine cider. It's an alcohol-free from Dublin Winery, and it is delicious too. It tastes like the purple grapes. Tastes like the purple grapes. It's not as, the flavor is not as powerful as a Scarpinade, because that tastes like pure white grapes, but it does have a more subtle taste, just like purple grapes do. And so it's really good. So that is my sip for tonight. I'm gonna be sipping a lot because I have not drank any water in the last few minutes. So I'm gonna be doing some good sipping. All right, so I have a lot to talk about tonight. That's why I hated that. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure everything looks okay because I'm working from a different device tonight. So I have a lot to say on tonight. I'm gonna look at my screen over here because my notes are actually over here on this screen, and I'm gonna lessen my brightness. But before I get into it, look, I had not planned to wear a hat tonight, but it's Heart Health Month, and I wanted to wear my red hat. And look, you all, I had to sport my cousin's shirt that she made for me. I hope you can see it. It says, "My skin color is not a crime." My skin color is not a crime. And so I'm wearing my cousin Mika's shirt on tonight that she made for me. A shout out to cousin Mika. She is a t-shirt artist. and Maker. I'm going to put her information in the, I'm not going to put it in the chat box tonight, but when I go back to do the video, because she's been updating some things with her, like her social media and how she's getting things out about her t-shirts. So I'm going to get the information from her. She's been redoing a few things, and I'm going to put it in the description box so that you can tap into t-shirts, sweatshirts. I think Mika even makes bags. I've seen some bags that she's made. She is an amazing t-shirt designer. So if you want a t-shirt for your family reunion, your business, your family business, your corporate business, family reunion, just whatever for your church, your youth group, your ladies group, your men's group, call Cousin Mika, because she will hook you up with some t-shirts. And she makes the t-shirts custom made. There are some that she has already made, like this one. I'm gonna show it again, because I just love it. My skin color is not a crime. And so she does have some templates that are already pre-made, but she will also do some custom t-shirts for you. So I'm going to put her information in the description so that you can tap in. Yeah, I'm about to, I filled my glass up tonight, y'all, so I'm going to take a couple more steps here. Mm-hmm. All right, the first thing that I want to talk about is the trial, I'm about to say inauguration, because I'm back to inauguration. I'm thinking about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but the impeachment trial, Trump's impeachment trial. I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch the impeachment trial. I did watch some of it. I was actually working while the trial was going on because it was during the day. And so I kept the TV on mute, and I had my closed captioning so I can read some of what was going on. I was able to see some of the videos that were presented by the House leaders. They're called, let me make sure that I'm saying it right. The House managers, as well as Trump's defense. Then it was really interesting, the things that I saw and heard. And I thought it was very interesting that the House managers, and let me tell you who they were, just in case you didn't know. So the House managers were the ones that presented their case, against Trump. So basically, they were for the impeachment, the House managers. Y'all know I don't know no lawyer language, and I didn't look it up. So the House managers were Jamie Raskin. He was a lead manager. Joaquin Castro, if I'm saying your name wrong, please forgive me if you hear me say your name. David Cecilin, Madeline Dean, Diane DeGette, Ted Lieu, Joe, Neguse. I don't want to mess up the pronunciation of your beautiful name. Stacey Plaskett, Eric Swalwell. They were the House managers that presented the case for Trump's impeachment. They had some very powerful things to say about Trump's rhetoric that caused, that incited the passions, the anger passions with the rioters who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. And they had some really compelling things to say, but the most compelling to me was the unseen footage. I don't know if you had an opportunity to see some of the unseen footage and how very close to danger our legislators were with these rioters storming our Capitol and like desecrating the sacred place. But it was really hard to watch. Some of the language was like profanity, wanting to kill people, hang folk, looking for people to take out of here. The language was harsh, it was violent, and yeah, it was bad. Like, I don't even watch like a lot of violent movies, so listening to that rhetoric and seeing the anger, it was almost like demonic in some respects. But just seeing the anger that they had based on the rhetoric that Donald Trump used to incite this violence, especially as it related to our voting. And he felt like the voting was rigged. Y'all have heard it all. You already know the story. He felt like if he didn't win, that the voting process had to be rigged. And that's what he spewed out to his supporters. And that's what they believed, that Joe Biden won by he won falsely. He won by cheating. And so, he incited his support base to, storm the Capitol January 6th. And, the impeachment trial was based on all of that, based on his rhetoric, based on, basically based on his rhetoric about fighting, about, let's see, I wrote it down. He noted, I did take this and listen to the video, Donald Trump really saying this: "We're going to fight like hell for this White House. Let me tell you, I hope that our great VP comes through for us. Of course, if he doesn't come through, I won't like him quite as much." And then he started talking about voting for David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, who were the senators, the incumbent senators in Georgia. And so he basically, again, just the rhetoric, it was filled with hate. It was filled with violence. It was filled like, we're going to take back this country because it's ours type of a deal. And so the impeachment trial was the House, the House managers, the House managers, they presented like a really great case against Trump. Like, they did their work. I didn't listen to every single one of them, but what I heard, like, they had some very compelling evidence against Donald Trump. And then we had Donald Trump's lawyers, who were Bruce Castro and David Schoen. Their defense to me was not as strong. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so a lawyer could tell you, just how well they did or how well they did not do, because they know the language and they know how a defense trial goes. But in my opinion, as an American citizen, they did not present as compelling a case as the House managers did. Trump's lawyers did not present a compelling case for Trump. Not as well as the House managers did against him. And one of the things that stands out to me the most about the case that Trump's lawyers presented is, I don't know if you saw the fight montage, but I was sitting on my computer in my living room. I didn't have a meeting at this time. I was just working on some work. And so I actually had my TV unmuted so I could hear what was going on. I wrote down the time, it was an 11-minute and 11-second fight montage, that they put together, where different legislators and different people in the political world were using the word fight. Let me tell you some of the people that they chose to use. It was Vice President Kamala Harris, as she was running and as she got elected, using the word fight. Senator Warren, Senator Jackie Rosen, Senator Leahy, I think is how you pronounce his name, and he actually presided over the Senate trial. So you'll see, you probably have seen his face. Senator John Ossoff, Senator Cory Booker, Senator Raphael Warnock, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Powerhouse Stacey Abrams, and others, all using the word fight, either using the word or using fight in a phrase. And so Trump's defense lawyers use that montage to say, well, almost every person, if not every person on the montage, because my eyes were kind of going up and down, where they were Democrats. And so Trump's lawyers were saying, well, if Democrats can use the word fight, why can't Trump use it? Like, they use the word fight. They didn't necessarily incite riots, or they're not on trial for inciting a riot. Yet Trump used this word, fight like hell is what he said. And now you guys are accusing him of inciting this riot. And so it was really interesting, first of all, that the montage was 11 minutes. I timed it, 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Way too long. And the fact that they used it to present their case for Trump, to be able to use whatever words he wants to use, and he should not be held accountable for that in the respect of this impeachment trial. And so my thoughts on that is, first of all, I can't take just one situation or one few moments of you saying a word or saying a phrase and using it for the context of an entire trial. Because if you listen to the montage, it might say fight, fight, fight. Like, you're not getting the full view of what that person said. You're just hearing them say the word fight. There were a couple of fight like hells in there too, but they took the montage and I feel like they used it out of context. And again, it was a big part of their defense, using these Democrats saying the word fight. It was a big part of their defense to say why they should not impeach Trump, which was really interesting. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how those things work, but using a montage of different people saying the word fight or using fight in a phrase without getting the full context of what they said is really shaky. Like, I would not want my lawyer to do that, to try to get me off. Needless to say, he was acquitted on January 13th. Trump was acquitted. And I'm actually going to put, seems like I can't tap into my chat for some reason. Let me see if I can tap into it now, because I wanted to put the video or the website, because I did look it up. And I wanted to put the website because I checked it out to see, but I'm not able to live chat for some reason, which is, I'm kind of sad about that, but because I wanted to share some things with you all, but it's okay. Because I had a lot of links I was going to share with you tonight, but it is on the, let me get back to the website. It is on the Senate.gov website. If you go to the Senate.gov website, you can see, January 13th, the House impeached Trump with 10 Republicans joining in. That was in January. And so that bill, the impeachment went to the Senate, which is the Senate trial that happened on February 13th to, not the 13th, but the 9th through the 13th. And the vote took place on the 13th. And you can actually see which senators voted yay or nay. So you can see you can check out your senators and see how they voted as far as finding Trump guilty or innocent. And the required majority to have impeached him in the Senate was a 2/3 majority, but 57 senators voted guilty. 57 senators voted guilty and 43 of them voted not guilty. So they did not get their 2/3 majority to impeach him. And I want to share with you something that Mitch McConnell said. I actually listened to the video so I could get exactly the words that he used. But this is what he said, which I find is very interesting. Again, I'm going to keep saying I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how these things work. But this was a little incriminating in my opinion. I'll let you, decide for yourself. So on January 13th, this is what Mitch McConnell said during the voting process of the impeachment trial. Senate Republicans are strongly united behind the principle that the institution of the Senate, the office of the presidency, and former President Trump himself all deserve a full and fair, that's not what I wanted to read. Hold on, that's something else. I'm gonna get to that later. Let me go back because I got him in two places actually. So this is what I want to read. This is what he said during the impeachment trial, February 13th. There is no question that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. I'm gonna say that one more time. This is Senator Mitch McConnell. He says there is no question, sorry about that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. That's what he said. Don't that sound like that he's guilty, right? Okay, that's what I thought too. No question about it. He goes on to say, no question about it. But then he says the people that stormed this building believed they were acting on the wishes and instructions of their president. Now, I can agree with that. He went on to say, Mitch McConnell went on to say, he is constitutionally, meaning Trump, is constitutionally not eligible for conviction, stating Article 2, Section 4 under impeachment. So, and I'm gonna read what it says. Let me go there because I got the link because I was like, let me look up Article 2, Article 2, Section 4. Let me look it up. And I'm gonna put these links. I was actually gonna put these links in the chat, but because I'm working on two different devices, I'm not gonna be able to do that. But I will do it once I finish this video. I'll be able to add all of this in. So if you check out under the United States Constitution, Article 2, Section 4, it states, the president, vice president, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. And then it goes on to talk about impeachment and removal from office. It has other articles that are embedded within section 4, that you can look up, like historical practices. It's got Richard Nixon in here, it's got Bill Clinton, y'all, and we know what happened with them during their impeachment trials. And well, actually, Richard Nixon didn't get impeached. He actually resigned. But I think they did try to impeach Nixon. And so it talks about all of that under the constitution.congress.gov. It has all of that information. But the interesting part of this, so what Mitch McConnell said, according to the Constitution, what I'm understanding and reading, that part is accurate. But the clincher here, y'all, is Mitch McConnell held up the Senate hearings so that it would not occur until after Trump got out of office. Just so he could use Article 2, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution to acquit Trump. Y'all let that sink in. The insurrection happened January 6, 2021. Let me get back to my January 13th, 7 days later, the House impeached Trump. They impeached him January 13th. They sent it to the House, but instead of Mitch McConnell allowing the House to go forth in the trial prior to Inauguration Day, January 20th, he decided, well, we're just going to adjourn, we're just going to do what we need to do. And then on February 9th, the Senate hearings began, and they ended, on February 13th. I'm thankful that Mitch McConnell does not represent me. I'm not in his state, and I'm glad that he doesn't represent me, because what he did was wrong. He decided that he would hold up the Senate hearings just so he could use this constitutional amendment, so that he would not have to declare that Trump is impeached for a second time based on the resurrection, not the resurrection, but the insurrection. So I find that very interesting that, I feel like politicians can just do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it. We've seen that in our history. And I've been paying even more attention over the last several years as far as politics are concerned, still learning so much about politics. But it was, in my opinion, morally wrong for Mitch McConnell to have done that. But it happened. It is what it is. And I hate to say it that way, but it is what it is. The impeachment trial is done. It's over. Trump has been acquitted in the Senate. He was impeached in the House for a second time, but acquitted in the Senate. And he's, off living his life, doing whatever he's doing. And prayerfully, he will give his life to the Lord, because there needs to be some things happening within Trump's heart. And I'm just going to leave that right there. So I'm curious to know, let me see if I might can chat on this computer here. Oh, I can. I'm going to say something. I'm going to say, hey, y'all. I can't add the links here because all the links are on my other screen. But if you want to chat with me, if you have something to say, I'm so curious. Like, what did you think about the impeachment trial? Did you get a chance to see it? Did your legislator vote the way you thought they were going to vote? Like, I already knew how mine was going to vote. One voted yay, one voted nay. Burr voted yay, and Tillis voted nay. I'm sorry, that was backwards. Burr voted to impeach Trump, and Tom Tillis voted to acquit him. I already knew how that was going to go, because Tom Tillis is trying to do re-election for the next time. So I already knew, how that was going to go. But I'm just curious if you know how your senators voted, and if they voted the way you thought they should have, or do you even think the impeachment trial should have happened, considering the process started like within a few weeks of the inauguration. I'm glad that they did it personally. I'm glad that because I feel like we should be held accountable, especially in a position as high as a presidency, when you have a history of using words that are divisive and using words that are culturally insensitive, and you're using words to divide, when you're using words to say like stand by, stand down, stand by. I can't remember Trump's exact words when he was speaking to the white supremacist group whose name kind of slips me. I see their leader in my head, but I can't. I'm gonna have to look it up now because I can't even think about what the white supremacy group's name is. The Proud Boys. The Holy Ghost got my back. The Proud Boys. When he was telling them to like stand by and basically wait for my instructions. And when you're a president, that's for one group of people, and everybody else you could care less about. That's a problem. Like that is a serious problem because this is the United States of America, not the divided states of America. So I am glad that the impeachment trial went forward. I'm glad that they took those steps to make sure that that Trump couldn't do this for a second term as far as being able to run for president again. And even though he's acquitted, I'm hoping that the state of North Carolina will take some not North Carolina, I'm in North Carolina. The state of New York will take some actions against him. And other groups or what, whoever, whatever, but just take some actions against him for to hold him accountable for some of the things that he has done since when he was president. Let me get my words together. I hope that he is held accountable for the actions and the words that took place while he was president of the United States. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. So I'm done with that. I'm gonna get into some Black history. I'm gonna show my shirt again, y'all. I love this shirt. My color is not I'm a shirt. I'm gonna show it again, but I'm gonna take a sip right now. I'm gonna take a sip. If you're just tuning in, I am drinking my Scarpanog. I mean my Muscadine. I'm sorry, I was talking about the Scarpanog earlier. But this is my Dublin Winery Muscadine. This is the cider. Dublin Winery has a regular Muscadine, and then they have the Muscadine cider. Y'all, this is my last bottle of Dublin Winery, and I've been fighting purchasing another case because they don't have my shipping discount like they had last year. So I'm fighting against ordering another case of Dublin Winery, but I'm gonna have to get me some because this is this is it. Like once I drink this, I'm done. I got a little bit of Scarpanog left from the last bottle from last month. I got a little bit of that left, but once this and my Scarpanog is gone, that's gonna be it for my Dublin Winery. So I'm gonna have to order some more. So I'm seeing. Oh yes, my mom's sister Brenda, she made a note that the impeachment process should have started prior to the inauguration of Biden and Harris, and I agree with that. And so I am very glad that the House on January 13th, they did go through the process and they did impeach Trump. But I agree, the Senate definitely should have followed suit right away. But again, Mitch McConnell, he playing both sides. He says that it is an impeachable offense, but according to the Constitution, you can't do it. He's playing both sides. He's trying to, quote unquote, do what's right, but on the same time, he's doing what's wrong. The Bible says, this is Stephanie sip and say with Stephanie, but I'm gonna get the word in. The Bible says that you can't be halted against two opinions. You can't straddle the fence. The Bible says you can't have bitter and sweet out of the same fountain. I'm just saying what the words say. So he is like a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I'm telling you what the words say. So Mitch McConnell, he is double-minded right now. He's unstable in all his ways because he's playing both sides of the fence. And I don't know if he is Christian. I'm about to say I don't know if he's saved or not, but the word is right, whether you're a Jew, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're an atheist, the word is right, truth all the time. And so McConnell is playing both sides. He's just doing what he's doing, and maybe he can go and rest and retire maybe after his term is up. And we'll just see what happens. Y'all, let me tell y'all this. I didn't have this written down, but it just came to my memory. So y'all know in January, John Ossoff, he won the election against David Perdue. And so, Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff from Georgia are our senators now. When I say our senators, just because, they're part of the United States Senate. So just recently, Dave Perdue decided to file to run against Raphael Warnock in the next election. Like, I think it happens, I can't remember if it's this year or next year, but he has a short time to finish the Senate seat that he was elected for. But Dave Perdue has put in the paperwork to run against Senator Raphael Warnock. Now, granted, Senator Raphael Warnock won he had greater support, and he won his election by a greater margin than John Ossoff did. So how David Perdue thinks he's going to run against Senator Warnock, I don't know. I don't know about that one, y'all. How do y'all feel about that? I'm gonna just say, this Black History Month, I'm gonna just say what I'm gonna say. I really wish that some of our older men, in particular older white men, would just get out of legislation, like especially those who are not, and I'm this sip and say with Stephanie, so I'm gonna say what I want to say, especially those who are not in favor of change occurring in our country. They are not in favor of equality for all people. Especially those who are stuck in those old Jim Crow South, keep my feet on the Black person's neck ways. They just need to go sit down, go enjoy your grandkids, go enjoy your spouse, your family, go put your feet up in your recliner, and just leave legislation to those who are wanting change, for those who want equality for everybody, who wants social justice reform, who wants our criminal justice system to be reformed so that it is equitable for all people and not just another system of slavery for Black and brown people. Like, just woo, 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 woo. I know that it's the citizens that keep re-electing these people, but man, I just wish that they would come to themselves and just be like, I need to just go sit down. I'm not really affecting change. I'm just holding this seat from someone who could really get in here and propose laws and pass laws that are for the good of everybody, and not just my group, not just white folk, not just Republicans, but for the good of everybody. So I'm just saying, I just, kind of wish they'd go and sit down somewhere so that we can have some real change occurring in this United States of America. So yes. And then my mom says a double-minded person. Yeah, a double-minded, because the Bible said double-minded man. So yeah, a double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. So I'm gonna take another sip of my muscadine. Wow, it's already 7:31, and I haven't even gotten to Black history yet. So let me go ahead and get into Black history, because I think I've taught politics long enough, especially considering I'm still learning a lot about politics and how our government works and how it should work. Because some of its inner workings are not how it should be, but that's a conversation for a different day. So I want to just share a few things. This is Black History Month, so I wanted to share these links with you so that you can be looking it up while I was talking about it. But once the video is over, I will add all of these links in the description so that you can go back and do some research on Black history for yourself. So I'm going to open up. I wanted to go through this one. So Oprah Magazine had some people that I really wanted to highlight. But before I do, let me give you a little bit of history for those of you who do not know. Black History Month began as Negro History Week. It was established by Carter G. Woodson and a few other Black prominent men or Black prominent people in 1926. It was held the second week in February what word do I want to use? I don't know what word I want to use, but I'll just use celebrate. So it occurred the second week in February to celebrate the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. To coincide, that's the word I wanted to use, to coincide with Frederick Douglass's birthday and the birthday of Abraham Lincoln. And so I wanted to read just a few Black History. It's just, y'all, there are so many Black people who have contributed to the advancements of this world, and in particular, the United States of America, who have never received credit for the great inventions and scientific newness that they have released, in the United States and for the world. And man, there's just so many names, like thousands and thousands of names, even people we don't know yet who have contributed to American history, Black people who white people took credit for some of their work. And then I think about some of the inventors and some of the scientists and those in the medical field who were not able to fully pursue their chosen field of study because of racism, because of Jim Crow, and so, man, I mean, I just think about, there are Black people who have done some amazing, extraordinary things. And I know there are some who have done amazing things, but could have pushed it a little bit further if they had the right resources, if they had more opportunity to do so. So I'm going to highlight some names that you may have heard and that you might not have heard. And again, I will put all of these links in the chat. All right, so I got so many windows open. I'm like, where do I start? All right, so I'm going to go to Oprah Winfrey's, because she has, she's highlighted a couple of people in her magazine that I want to share. The first one that I knew I wanted to, I didn't show y'all my shirt. I'm gonna show it for a third time. This is a shirt that my cousin made for me. It says, my skin color is not a crime. My skin color is not a crime. I'm telling you, I'm going to give you my cousin Mika's information because I want you to order some shirts from her. She has this color. You can custom color, whatever color you want. If you want a different saying, you can have that too. But my skin color is not a crime. So the first person that I want to highlight, y'all, in honor of Vice President Kamala Harris, I want to honor Shirley Chisholm. Woo, 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 woo. Shirley Chisholm was born in 1924. She passed away in 2005. She was a bad mama. She was like a bad, powerful, amazing woman. She was a Black woman, and we do want to acknowledge it, but she was just a powerful and amazing woman. So she was the first Black woman elected to Congress, y'all. Go Shirley Chisholm. So she represented New York's 12th district from 1969 to 1983. And in 1972, she became the first woman, y'all, not the first woman of color, not her, just first woman to run for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination. Oh my goodness. And so her campaign slogan, y'all, get this. Her campaign slogan was unbought and unbossed. You know what, cousin Mika, if you're listening or if you're going to listen later, I need me a shirt that says unbought and unbossed. Yes, for Shirley Chisholm. So that was her campaign slogan, unbought and unbossed. And it reminds me so much of Vice President Kamala Harris. And I feel like Vice President Kamala Harris has more of a gentle spirit. Well, Shirley Chisholm, she like an Angela Davis, like Black Power up in here. But they remind me so much of each other just because they were first women to do what they're doing as far as the political realm is concerned. Shirley Chisholm being the first woman to run for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination, and then Vice President Kamala Harris being the first woman in a presidential administration. How many years later? 82, 92, 2002, 2012. So almost 50 years later. So just shy of 50, 49 years later, Vice President Kamala Harris becomes the first woman in a presidential administration. And so I just wanted to honor Shirley Chisholm, honor Vice President Kamala Harris during this Black History moment. So that's Powerhouse Shirley Chisholm. Yes. The next person that I want to highlight is, because there's a lot of them, y'all, Claudette Colvin. For me, it was important to share Claudette Colvin because prior to Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat on the bus, it was Claudette Colvin. She was only 15 years old, you all, when she refused to give up her seat in Montgomery, Alabama. Let me get the year right. It was March 2nd, 1955, and she was arrested for refusing to give up her seat on the bus. And so when it came down for Rosa Parks to when she refused to give up her seat, the NAACP and the other groups that were supporting them, they felt like Rosa Parks was a better person to be the face of the Montgomery bus boycott because she was an older lady. She wasn't that much older, but she was older. She was married. She's a middle-class family. She was a little more seasoned, and they felt like Rosa Parks was a better representation and would be a better representation in the respect of getting people on board with the Montgomery bus boycott. And so they, chose Rosa Parks to be the face of that movement. But I do want to honor Miss Claudette Colvin because she was, to be 15, her courage. I really honor her courage. And I really honor, her drive in wanting to be a part of the change that was needed for Black and Brown people. So I want to honor Miss Claudette. And y'all, Miss Claudette is still alive. I don't even know where she lives. I didn't look up where she lives. She was born in 1939, but she's still alive. Let me make sure, because I don't have a year of death for her. Let me make sure, because it doesn't have her. Yep. Yeah, she's 81. Yay! She's 81 years old today. She's still here. Man, y'all, I wish I could interview her, right? Like, I really wish I could just have a moment just to sit with her and talk with her. But she is still amongst the living. And Miss Claudette, if you are listening, if you're one of your grandchildren or children let you listen to this, I honor you. I respect you. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your bravery. At 15 years old, being arrested to protest the injustices that were going on during that time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Miss Claudette. So I definitely wanted to honor her. We honor every person who gave up their life, who fought for the freedoms of all Black and Brown people, all Black people. We honor you and salute your courage, just for having the strength and the stamina and the like I said, the courage to stand up in the face of opposition, because the opposition that y'all faced then is really not good. I mean, we're facing some opposition now, but and I know that Black men and Black women are still, okay, so I'm not going to say that your opposition was greater than that it is now, because our opposition, I don't want to compare the two. So I'm going to scratch that. Forgive me for saying that, because I don't want to compare the two. Yeah, okay, and I'm going to let that be there. Okay, so we thank everyone for your courage, and especially during the Jim Crow era and during the Civil Rights movement. We appreciate your courage. Let me take a drink. I'm about to have to pour me some more muscadine. All right, so Miss Claudette Colvin, I said her name wrong, it's Colvin. I wrote it down wrong. Okay. So I want to mention Miss Annie Lee Cooper. So Miss Annie Lee Cooper played a very integral role in the Selma voting rights movement. Oh, this is what she did. I couldn't remember. I was like, let me see. So she is noted for punching Alabama Sheriff Jim Clark in the face. and just look, did y'all hear what I said? I said she punched Alabama Sheriff Jim Clark in the face. And she was portrayed in the movie Selma by Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey played her in the movie Selma. If you've seen it or if you haven't seen it, when you see Oprah Winfrey, she is playing Miss Annie Lee Cooper. She was a crucial part of the 65 Selma voting rights. And even though she sat at the table with Dr. King and Reverend Abernathy when they were making their plans with the NAACP and the different protests that they were going forth in, she wasn't really a known person. well, she was known, but not widely known. But look up Miss Annie Lee Cooper. I don't have much more details about her except for her fight for voting rights. So we appreciate her bravery and her strength, and the fight that she took on during the civil rights movement. All right, so Miss Annie Lee Cooper, she was born in 1910, you all, and she passed away in 2010. So Miss Dorothy Height, we've heard of Miss Dorothy Height, 1912 to 2010. She's considered the godmother of the women's movement. She was a leader in the Young Women's Christian Association and the president of the National Negro League, National Council of Negro Women for more than 40 years. And she was also there when Dr. King made his I Have a Dream speech in 63. So we honor Miss Dorothy Height for the work that she has done for women, for all women, but in particular for Black women. I'm just going to go through a few of these that we really know about. I do want to mention this name. I've never heard this name before, so I don't know how to pronounce this gentleman's middle name, but I'll put it in the chat. But his name is Robert Abbott. Robert Abbott was born in 1870. He passed away in 1940, and he was a Black publisher. So his newspaper was called the Chicago Defender. In 1905, he founded the Chicago Defender. And he started a 4-page pamphlet, and his newspaper played an integral part in encouraging African Americans to migrate from the South for better economic opportunity. So he is considered one of the pioneers for Black publishing. And I really feel like, I'm pretty sure that like Essence and Jet and some of our Black magazines stand on his shoulders because he was one of the first. And so we honor Robert Abbott and the work that he did in publishing. As a publisher, I definitely honor him and appreciate him in 1905 founding this paper so that the Black experience could be known, be known at that time. So we appreciate him and the work that he did in publishing. All right. I do want to honor Ethel Waters. She was born in 1896. She passed away in 1977. She became the first Black woman to star in her own TV show called The Ethel Waters Show. I've never seen it, but I bet you I can find some videos on YouTube. And so she became the first Black woman to have her own show. Guess what year, y'all? 1939. In 1939, she had The Ethel Waters Show. And it was nominated for its first Emmy in 1962. So I honor Ethel Waters as being one of the pioneers in the entertainment industry. Let's see. So this is a name that I'm embarrassed to say I've never heard before, but there is a young lady named Alice Coachman. She was born in 1923. She passed away in 2004, and she became the first African-American woman from any country to win an Olympic gold medal. And that was in 1948, the Summer Olympics in 1948. Because, I hear about Wilma Rudolph, right? And so, but Miss Alice Coachman, she became the first woman to win an Olympic gold in 48. And that was the Summer Olympics in London. So I'm gonna share her stats with you. She set the record for the high jump at the games. Y'all, the high jump is hard. Like I ran track in high school just for a year because I transferred to another high school. They didn't have a track team there. So I ran just for a year and I tried, wait a minute, that's not right. Hold on, oh Lordy, oh. So I ran when I was in one high school. Yeah, I don't think the other high school had track. So anyway, I remember trying the what did I say she did? The high jump. I tried the high jump, y'all. I couldn't clear that bar. So kudos to Miss Alice Coachman. I could not clear that bar, y'all. But she set the record for the high jump at the games, leaping to 5 feet and 6 1/8 inches. Throughout her athletic career, she won 34 national titles, 10 of which were for the high jump. She was officially inducted into the National Track and Field Hall of Fame in 1975 and the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame in 2004. So we thank Miss Alice Coachman for her for her um, for her breakthroughs in the track and field. Ooh, I love track. So I tried the jump, I tried the high jump. I tried the shot put. I ran a sprint. I was a sprinter. And I did the I think it was a 4x200, y'all. Ooh, that was hard. I was not a long distance runner. Like my oldest brother did long distance because he has the endurance and the stamina for that. But sister girlfriend didn't have the endurance and stamina for that. I had to do the short races. But I love doing the shot put. Like I really grew to love that. I had to kind of learn how to, you had to position the shot put here and you had to kind of twist your body to get it as far, as it could. And so I enjoyed that. The long jump, like I said, that was not my cup of tea. And I did try hurdles. So hurdles were okay. As you know, if you know track and field, you have to get your paces right in between those hurdles. And then you've got to have the right form to clear those hurdles without hurting yourself, like to clear them and then to, so you won't knock them down, you won't hurt yourself. So I tried all of those areas in track and field. I really enjoyed myself and love track and field. So a special shout out and appreciation to Miss Alice Coachman. Those were a lot of words to get there, right? Okay, y'all didn't see me pour the scarping on, but I'm about to pour me some McGillagan. What y'all drinking? Y'all tell me, are y'all drinking things? Oh, thank you, Mama. Okay, I thought I ran track at Dixon. So this is what I think happened. I'm remembering, I'm not that old, y'all, but if I'm remembering correctly, I ran a year at Southwest because Coach Roach, I wonder, is Coach Roach still alive? I'm gonna have to ask my sister and my brother. But Coach Roach was our coach at Southwest. We did not have a track at Southwest. So we actually ended up practicing in behind the high school, Southwest High School, behind the high school is where we practice. And sometimes, we would get on the football field and we'd run up and down the bleachers for exercise. So I ran my sprint, I did my sprinting and my 4x200 there. When I went to Dixon, that's when I did the shot put. That's when I did all that other stuff, y'all. The shot put and the long distance and trying to clear that bar. And it just didn't work for me. I think I was out of shape by then or something wasn't going right, y'all. I just couldn't, I did not do as well at Dixon. Except for the shot put. Like I did okay in the shot put. I don't remember ever winning, but I was proud of myself because I did get better. So I thank God for progress. And so, so thank you, Mama, for reminding me that I did run 1 year of track and field at my second high school. I'm just take a little sip. Oh yeah, I'm gonna address that in just a minute. So I want to, there's a few more. Miss Jane Bolin. So Miss Jane Bolin was born in 1908 and she passed away in 2007, but she was the first Black woman to attend Yale Law School in 1931. And in 1939, she became the first Black female judge in the United States. Black power, Black woman power. So she became the first Black female judge in the United States and she served for 10 years. Oh my God. I'm sure that was not easy. That was 1939. So I'm sure that she dealt with a lot of racism during that time, but I thank her for her courage, Miss Jane. I know you passed away, but if your family listening, thank Miss Jane for her courage and for her passion to be in law and to become a judge. And I'm really proud of that. Like I didn't know about Miss Jane, y'all. So it was good just to read about her and to share her with you. So one of her significant contributions throughout her career was working with private employers to hire people based on their skills, as opposed to discriminating against them because of their race. Yes, Miss Jane. She also served on the boards of the NAACP, Child Welfare League of America, and the Neighborhood Children's Center. So yay, Miss Jane. So we thank God for her pioneering. All of the lady judges out there, all of the lady lawyers, we salute you. We know that the black woman is underrepresented in those areas. So we thank Miss Jane for being a pioneer in that, in the political, or in the not the political world, but in the criminal justice world. All right, so this is another young lady that I had never heard about. Her name is Marie P. Williams. Maria P. Williams. She was born in 1866 and she passed away in 1932. She was the first Black woman. Now this was good too. She's the first Black woman to produce, write, and act in her own movie in 1923. It was called The Flames of Wrath. Y'all know I'm about to go, when I get off this broadcast and get this video right, I'm gonna go look and see if I can find The Flames of Wrath. And if I do, I'll post it for you so you can watch it too. But she produced, she wrote, and she acted in her own movie. That's what I'm talking about right there. Beyond film, she was a Kansas City teacher. So yay, Miss Maria, we have that in common, both educators. So she was a Kansas City teacher. She was also an activist. Her work is detailed. Wait. Oh, it says beyond film. I'll just read what it says so I can get it right. Beyond film, the former Kansas City teacher was also an activist and detailed her leadership skills in the book that she authored entitled My Work and Public Sentiment in 1916. So shout out to Miss Maria P. Williams. I never heard of her before, but just to know that she is an author and an educator like me, I'm definitely going to go look her up and see what other facts that I can find out about her. So Miss Maria P. Williams. That's all right. I like that. So this has me thinking of Oscar Micheaux. I don't know if you all have ever heard of Oscar Micheaux, but if you haven't, look him up. There was some years ago when Durham Public Schools, we had like reading in the summers, a reading summer program or a summer reading program. And so this one particular year, they kind of sent us, I won't call it a treasure hunt, but they kind of gave us like a map to fill out to get prizes for this particular summer. And we had to read different books in different genres. So I read about stuff that I never never even thought about reading. And Oscar Micheaux's book was one of them. There's a book about him. It's been some years since I read it. So I don't think he was an author of his book. I think someone else wrote about him. But he was the first Black man to kind of do like what Miss Maria did. He wrote his own films. He started his own films, and they were risque. I can't remember when Oscar Micheaux lived. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. But his films were a little risque, especially for that time. I think he lived in the 20s, if I'm not mistaken. But his book was really interesting, and to hear about his life was very, very interesting. He was an independent producer of 44 films. He was an author and the film director. He was born in 1884 and passed away in 1951. And if I find the book, because I can't remember the name of the book that I read, because like I said, it's been a little bit ago, I'll post that for you too, so you can look him up. But it's a little, body parts and things going on in his films. And so that was the late 1800s, early 1900s. Mr. Micheaux was producing these things. So anyway, she reminds me of Oscar Micheaux, just kind of trigger that memory of reading about him. So Miss Maria P. Williams. I'm going to do just a few more, and then I'm going to talk about heart health because I've been up here for a while, and then I'm going to let you go. My favorite. I think she's going to be the last one that I mention. Maybe not. But I've got to mention Miss Ruby Bridges. I was going to pull up the picture, y'all. Our school, when I was in the classroom, I'm still a teacher, but I'm just doing a different position now. But when I was a teacher in the classroom, every year the librarian, she hosted like a book character of the week. Like we did Spirit Week. And so during one of the days of Spirit Week, it was you dress up as your favorite book character. every year I dressed up like Ruby Bridges, because Ruby Bridges, I love her book. I love her story. I'm drawing a blank. She was like the first Black child to integrate at William Frantz School. I can't remember which city or state it was at the time. This time I can't really think. I can't really remember right now. Let me look it up. But she always got it right here. I got the facts right now. I don't have to rely on my memory, right? Okay, so here it is. 1960, she integrated William Frantz Elementary School in Louisiana. She was only 6 years old when she integrated. Well, kind of depending on when her birthday hit, because it was 1960. So depending on when her birthday hit, she was either 5 or 6 when she integrated. And I remember her talking about, like, there were, of course, mobs that were against her integrating this all-white school, and they threatened to take her life. They threatened to poison her food. So for a long time, she would not eat any food unless it was packaged. Like the food that her mom cooked, she wouldn't eat. If it was like chips or something that had never been opened that she could actually open, that's what she ate. And of course, they found out later it was because she thought some kind of way, you know, folks had got into her home and poisoned her food. So, but she integrated the school, and when she became an adult, I don't know if she still volunteers at the school now, but there was one season in her life where she volunteered at the school. And so I just love Ruby Bridges. I know she probably didn't even fully understand, possibly she didn't fully understand all that was going on at that time, but she integrated this school. Her teacher played a huge part in helping her feel safe and taking care of her while she was in that classroom. Sometimes she was there by herself because all of the other parents pulled their children out. And so being a 5 or 6 year old, being in that type of environment where adults are threatening you and adults are, you know, ridiculing you just because of this right here, and not fully understanding that. There was a child psychologist that helped during that process, and he was able to kind of help the family and help her through that process, and he kind of studied her and what was going on at that time. But yeah, so I used to dress up as Ruby Bridges, and the first time I did it, you all, I posted the picture to my teacher Twitter account, and I tagged Ruby Bridges, and she wrote back to me. I was so excited about that. I was so honored that she like wrote me back. I was really humbled and really honored that she wrote me back. I can't remember what she said because I think that was in 2016 or 2017. I'll have to like look through my Twitter feed to see what she said, but she did acknowledge, you know, that I honored her by dressing up as my favorite book character. So that's Miss Ruby Bridges. And I think I'll just do one more because I can go all day, all night, all tomorrow, all next week, all next year about Black history. Because I know we celebrate February is a designated month to celebrate Black history, but I celebrate Black history every day, every week, every year, every month, every decade. And if the Lord allow me, every century, we celebrate Black history up in here. I think I'll mention just maybe one more person. And the person that I want to mention, gosh, there's so many. I'm going to put these links in the chat so that you can have them and look back. I want to mention Alvin Ailey. He was born in 1931, 1989. Y'all know Alvin Ailey. He was an acclaimed dancer and choreographer. There is also the Alvin Ailey, you know, dance school in New York. So we honor him. We honor Benjamin O. Davis Sr., born in 1880, passed away in 1970. He was the first Black general in the American military. He served for 50 years as a temporary first lieutenant at an all-Black unit during the Spanish-American War. So he was also a professor of military science at Tuskegee and Wilberforce University. And when he retired in 48, President Truman President Truman oversaw his ceremony when he retired in 48. And he does have the honor of being buried in the Arlington Cemetery. So I think that's all I'm going to say about Black history, because I'm going to throw out some other names for you. Henrietta Lacks. A sample of Lacks' cancer cells were taken without her consent. Do y'all remember that story? I remember reading about. Read that later. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it now because I've been going on for a long time. And Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler. Let me go back. So Henrietta Lacks was born in 1920. She passed away in 1951 after having succumbed to cancer. And so read about her story because there's a lot of information here about her. Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler, she was born in 1831 and passed away in 1895. She was the first Black female doctor in the United States of America. So we definitely salute her for, I mean, we talking about the 1800s, y'all. So we definitely salute her. And that's all the Black history that I have for you right now. I do have some other windows open for Black history. I can go all day with Black history, but I'm gonna pause right there because I want to just say a few things about heart health, and then after that, I'm going to let you go. But just, it's so important to know our history, to know where we came from, so we'll know, where we're going, where we are right now, and where we're going. So I know some people don't want to look back at history for various reasons, but it is important for us to know about Black history. And I think about when Vice President Kamala Harris took the oath of office, people, different family members were posting pictures of young girls watching this first female in a presidential administration, watching her take her oath of office. And there were some families that had gathered their girls to watch this. And I think maybe some friends and other family members gathered together, so that they could watch this together. And they just took the pictures. You could see the girls just sitting there, and they took the picture of the girls, behind them. So you really couldn't see their faces. But there were a few that you could see their faces, and they were like awestruck seeing this woman that looks like them taking a presidential oath of office. Vice president, we understand, but a presidential oath of office as Vice President of the United States. So representation matters. Knowing that Black people played a significant have made significant contributions to American history. We made, the light bulb, come on, Latimer. I can go on and on and on. If you have not taught your children Black history, if you have not talked to your children of Black history, I encourage you to do so. Get the history. We got the World Wide Web. If you need to know it, Google it. You can find out everything you need to know, excuse me, about Black history, every prominent figure in Black history. You might have to dig for it in the library in some instances, but the information is there. So I encourage you to teach your children. Teachers, educate your students. You have that liberty to do so. Let our children know that Black people made significant contributions to America. Let them know now. Let them know, because the history books that have you thinking that white people the history books will have you thinking that Black people haven't done anything to support this country. We built this doggone country. So don't let your children think that Black people have not done anything. Do not let them believe the narrative that Black people are lazy, that we've never contributed to society, that we don't amount to anything, that being an exceptional Black person is like the exception and not the rule. Let them know that there are young Black doctors, that there are young Black inventors, that there are Black people in the athletic and entertainment industry who are not just athletes or entertainers, but they're also activists, and they're working for change in our society. Let your young people know, that we have made just amazing contributions, extraordinary contributions to history. Amen. Amen. Let me take a sip. The last thing that I'd like to share with you, and then I'm going to let you go, is about heart health. So I'm wearing my red for heart health. I have worn red almost every single day in the month of February, and I will continue to do so, just to remind myself to take care of myself, because it's only one Stephanie Humphrey, and I'm trying to be around as long as possible. It's just one me. So I'm going to try my best to take care of me. So I'm wearing my red for American Heart Health Month. And I want to just share a few things with you about heart health. Heart disease, y'all, is the leading cause of death among women. Let that sink in, y'all. Heart disease is the leading cause of death amongst women. It's not breast cancer, y'all. It is heart disease. We have got to take care of ourselves, y'all. We have got to exercise. We've got to eat healthy. We've got to take care of this heart that we have been entrusted with. So I am on the heart.org website. So I'm giving you facts directly from their website, and I will add their link to my description of this video so that you can check it out for yourself later. Paying attention to risk factors and living a healthy lifestyle can help keep heart disease at bay. Heart disease, let me say this. This is from a doctor, Dr. Jennifer Myris, if I'm saying her name correctly. She is a professor of cardiology at the Zucker School of Medicine in New York. She says women in midlife are definitely at the highest risk. It's a volatile time for women as the menopause transition is marked by changes in body composition, fat distribution, and an increase in cholesterol level. So if you are middle-aged, if you are any age, but in particular, if you're middle-aged, please pay attention to how you're feeling, pay attention to how your heart is feeling, pay attention to what you're eating, pay attention to your stress level, all of that. It is definitely here on the heart.org website. So number one, get annual checkup. So look, y'all, I was on a heart seminar last Thursday. That's why I was not able to go live during the Bible study. And I did share some information about that seminar, under the description for my Bible study, because I did record it later. But one thing, I lost my train of thought. Listening to the seminar has me thinking about asking my doctor to do like an EKG, just to check my heart, because I feel fine, like I feel okay. But there are some times where I feel like something's going on with my heart. I don't think it's anything like serious. I don't think I have a heart defect or anything, like a valve defect or anything, but I have been thinking about contacting my doctor so that we can do like a EKG. I'm kind of nervous to get in the machine, but I was going to ask her, is there a different test that we can take just to check the health of my heart? And I know that she'll be able to give me some direction. So going to our annual checkup is very important. Maintain your monthly, not your monthly, but your yearly checkup. Go to your yearly checkup. Don't let 10 years, 5 years, 3 years go by where you have not been to see your doctor. Go for your regular annual checkups so that your doctor will know what's going on with you physically, so you can share what's going on with you physically and get the tests that you need to make sure that everything is okay. All right. So make sure that you're going to your annual checkup. And like I said, I am gonna talk to my doctor, because I just want to know. I just want to make sure everything is healthy. I had there was a friend of mine. We had lost contact over the years, but during my college years and when I was first at Nehemiah Christian Center, we were all there at church together. And this gentleman, he passed away near the end. I think it was either earlier this year, near the end of last year, because he had a hole in his heart. And it wasn't known, like he didn't know, like it was not known that he had this hole in his heart. But I think I can't remember what he went to the doctor for, but he went for something and they found it, but he ended up, passing away, and he was my age. And I was like, wow, that's something. So there could be something going on internally that we're unaware of. So make sure that you go to your annual checkups, that you're communicating with your doctor. Like I will send a message to my doctor in a minute and be like, look, this is going on. Sometimes I'll take pictures of my body if something's going on. I'll send a picture. I'll be like, look, what do you think this is? Is this something serious? Do I need to come in? So make sure that you're in regular communication with your doctor. Know your body. Know what's going on with you. Know your body. So let me give you some heart attack symptoms. And this is one thing I learned at the heart seminar that I was at last week, y'all, is that we know it's the difference between men and women, but there is a difference between the symptoms that women feel as it relates to their heart and the symptoms that a man feels. I don't think I knew that. Like, I don't remember having that knowledge that women may feel something different. For a heart attack, they always say, for a heart attack yet or a stroke. Now I'm getting them mixed up, so let me not share that. But you get your droopy eye. There's just certain things that would happen if you are experiencing a heart attack or a stroke, and I need to brush up on my symptoms, right? And so I just thought it was the same for everybody. But in this particular instance, with our heart health, there may be symptoms that each of us feel differently. I know I took a long time to say that, but y'all got me. So for men, you may experience nausea, vomiting. Actually, that's the same. So let me share what's the same. So the same for men and women. The most common symptoms of a heart attack for both men and women: nausea or vomiting, jaw, neck, or back pain. For a man, you will experience or may experience squeezing, chest pressure, or pain. So for a man, you may experience squeezing, chest pressure, or pain. For a woman, you may experience chest pain, but not always. For a man, you may experience shortness of breath. So let me just give it to you separately so that you can have it. So for a man, you may experience nausea or vomiting, jaw, neck, and back pain, squeezing, chest pressure or pain, and shortness of breath. For a woman, our symptoms, when you look at this, when I put the link in and you look at the list, our list is twice as long as that of the man. It's twice as long. So women, we may experience nausea or vomiting, jaw, neck, or upper back pain, chest pain, but not always, shortness of breath, fainting, indigestion, and extreme fatigue. Our symptoms are twice as long as that of a man. Remember, I said a little bit ago, heart disease is a leading killer of women. So these are some suggestions that the heart.org website says that we should do. Get enough sleep. It does have a little blurb under it, but you can read that later. I'm just going to highlight them. Get enough sleep. Tame stress. Oh my Lord. I'm just going to say this and I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to do like at the altar, we lay our burdens at the altar and leave it there. I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it there. If you are in a relationship, especially if you're not married, if you are in a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship relationship, it might even be a family relationship, and they are causing stress and strain, and you're getting sick and you're having extreme headaches and stuff, you might want to reevaluate that relationship. So in other words, if that relationship is not healthy, you may want to reevaluate if you need to be in that relationship. And I'm going to leave that there. If you are on a job where your boss, your manager is putting unnecessary strain and stress in your life, like they might be piling up your work duties, they may be asking things of you that's just too much or that is not within your job description, and you're feeling some pressure and some pain and stress all the time, you might want to reevaluate. Let me move my scarpa now. Let me move my musket now. I'm gonna get excited. I want to knock it down. You may want to reevaluate if you need to be on that job or not. So take some self-inventory. See where is the stress in your life. Is it in your relationships? Is it in your job? Is it in your living above your means? You only make this money, but you living like you make this money way up here of my hand that you can't see. You might need to reevaluate some things to eliminate toxic stress, unnecessary stress. So tame the stress. Find a health partner. And they're talking in particular about a healthcare provider here. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all. Actually, that's it. That's all they say. Find a health partner, tame your stress, get enough sleep, and tell your doctor, this is for the pregnant women, tell your doctor if you have had pregnancy complications in the past, make sure that your doctor knows that so that they can monitor you in a way that is safe for yourself and for your baby. All right. So those are the tips that are on the heart.org website. I am going to share this website with you. There is actually more articles and more information up here, so read that at your leisure. If you have any questions about your own health or about your heart, reach out to your doctor. You might need to cut your doctor out. You might need to get a new doctor. I'm just saying, if your doctor is not listening to you, if they're not taking what you're telling them about yourself seriously, you might need to reevaluate if you need a new doctor. One thing I can say about the doctors that I have had over the last, how many years? Maybe about 8 or 9 years. They have been amazing. And I've had different doctors, not because I chose the different doctors, but my doctors, I'm at the same clinic that I've always gone to, but my doctors have received elevations, like they've received promotions. And so they were able to leave the clinic. So I've had 3 doctors since I've been there. The other 2 were promoted. And then I have the doctor that I have now. She is amazing. If I say I got a pain and I need a test, she is going to make sure that I get that test. Because I know doctors have to put in special codes and they have to get special permissions in order to sign off of different tests that we need to take. And so I understand how that works. And I know the insurance companies don't want to pay for more than they have to pay for. Like, I understand, I may not understand all the politics, but I understand when it comes to my medical insurance. Because that's my money that I'm paying. So I understand that well. But if I say I have an ache or a pain, or if I need a test to check out what's going on, my doctor will write up whatever she needs to write up in order for that order, because it's called an order, like a medical order. In order for that order to get pushed through my insurance, she writes it up for me. Just recently in December, I was experiencing some issues with my swallowing. Like, something was going on in this chest. I don't know what it was, but I remember waking up. It was during the Thanksgiving holiday. I was asleep and I woke up, y'all. It was bad. Like, it was bad. Like, I was scared. So that next day, I got on the computer because it was during the holiday. I wrote my doctor. I was like, look, this is going on. This happened. I could not sleep the rest of the night. It was just like, anyway. So she got me an order in, and like that first week in December, that Friday, I was able to go get a test done, and they actually tested my esophagus, and they tested my small intestines and my stomach. To see what was going on. So something, whatever was going on, I don't know if they cleared me up. And I meant to write back and ask them. I don't know if they cleared me up or whatever was going on, but I haven't had those issues. I've had those issues in minor ways since then. But what I said all that to say, not necessarily to focus on what was going on with me, but the fact that if something is going on with me, my doctor takes what I say seriously, and I appreciate her. I've actually wrote up like not a commendation, but like with the hospital system that I'm with, you can actually give compliments, or if you have complaints or whatever, you can write that up and send it to their quality assurance department or whatever it is. And I did that for her because I wanted them to know that I appreciate the care that she gives to me. I appreciate that she listens to me. And I think that, y'all, has a lot to do with me, because I got a notepad and a pen. Now I just take my cell phone. But when I first started working with this doctor, I would take a notepad and pen in, and I would be writing stuff down. I would already have my list of the things that I needed for her to do. And we would go through that list, because she'd be like, what's on your list? And I was like, okay, so this is going on. Okay, well, let's see, this is going on. I would have my list ready, so that she knew, so that I wouldn't forget what I wanted to talk to her about. And because I wanted her to know that I take my health care seriously, and I want you to listen to me and know that you're my doctor, I need you to handle this. And she does. And so I really do appreciate her for listening to me, for taking my concerns about my health very seriously. So if you have a doctor like that, stick with that doctor. If your doctor does not take your concerns seriously, you might need to reassess if you need another doctor or not, to make sure that you stay well and healthy. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I'm going to say. I know I did a lot of sip and say, like, I had not planned to talk this long, but thank you for sticking with me. I have enjoyed sharing with you everything that I've shared. I know it took me a roundabout way to say a few things, but that's okay. I know y'all got what I'm saying. I do want to, so I don't know what time I'm going on next week. I normally go on live every Thursday at 6:30. So forgive me for being late tonight. I did have some technical difficulties. I was actually on another seminar and I had some difficulty switching over with the account, with my Zoom account. It was really odd. But anyway, I got on and I'm so glad to have joined you on tonight. But like next week, they're talking about Black hair. So the seminar, so Belk, like I said at the beginning, Belk has been doing these seminars during Black History Month. And next week, they're talking about Black hair. And the seminar is from 6 to 7. So I was on the one tonight was about makeup. So I was on there for like 30 minutes and then I switched off to come up here. But I really want to hear that Black hair one, y'all. So I may not go live next Thursday until about 7 o'clock or 7:15. I will put it on my website, okay? So check out my website at determinedpublishing.com and I'll let you know if I'll be on my normal 6:30 time or I'll be on 7:15, okay? Either way, this is the book that we'll be studying next week. I have my tabs ready because I have my spaces already ready that we're going to be reading next week. So it's our 2021 book study. The book that we're reading is entitled A New Kind of Family. This is about Carrie and Mark. So Carrie has experienced a family tragedy. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'll read about it next week, but she has experienced a family tragedy and she goes to New York to get some help for her and her niece Anna. In the process of her travel, she meets Mark. Their meeting is really interesting. I'm gonna read their meeting and then I'm gonna need you to put in the chat what y'all think about that meeting. And he makes a proposal to her and we'll see if she accepts. And then would you do it? Like, would you accept or reject the proposal that he makes to her? So anyway, that's A New Kind of Family. You can purchase it on determinedpublishing.com for $10, the printed copy. So get that book if you don't already have it. If you don't, hopefully I can whet your appetite next week and you'll purchase it for the future. I'm gonna take a sip real quick. And let me just check the chat really quick before I let you go so I can answer anything. So my mom said paycheck and social status is important to some people. This is why they don't release their positions. I definitely agree with that. If I'm making $250,000 a year and that's coming with a lot of stress, maybe I want to keep it because I don't want to go to the $99,000 salary a year job. So that's very true. So maybe Pepsi was developed by a African-American man. Kentucky Fried Chicken, y'all, it was a Black woman's recipe. I don't know her name, so if y'all know her name, put it in the chat for me. There are a lot of people in the 1800s are mad if they cannot return. Oh, if they could return into present times, they would be in awe. I'm pretty sure they would. I would be curious to know what Dr. King and Malcolm X would think about what is going on in our world today. I would be interested to hear their take on it. My mom said right now she'll take any proposal. I'm assuming she is talking about a marriage proposal, possibly. Okay, then. Well, that's all right. I'm gonna leave that between you and the Lord. If you're talking about a marriage proposal, because all I can do is pray about that one. I'm gonna just tell you. So anyway, thank you all for joining me tonight for Sip and Say with Stephanie. I will see you next Thursday, probably around 7:15. And I hope you'll be able to join me for the first and second Thursday at 6:30 for Bible study. Again, next month for the third Thursday, Sip and Say. And the fourth Thursday for our arranged marriage will be our book in March. Look, y'all, March is my birthday month, so I might cut up a little bit for the Sip and Say. I might do a birthday edition and have me a party hat and have me make, or a princess crown or something. So if I do a sip and say with Stephanie birthday edition, I will let you know so that you can dress up with me, okay? All right, so again, thank you for joining me on tonight, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.